guys, and in today's video, we're going to be going over the least used cars versus the most used cars in Driving Empire. So without further ado, let's get straight into this video. And if you own any of these least used cars, comment down below, because I don't believe you. Alright, the first car on this list for least used cars is the 2027, what is this thing even called? The 2027 Beam Stride. Now, I've never, bro. Like, every public lobby I've ever been in, I have never seen anybody drive this car. And it's pretty self-explanatory why nobody drives it. I mean, what is this thing? Bro, this thing's made up and they just randomly added it one day. Did they even have a thought that nobody was gonna drive this? Because obviously nobody drives it. This thing is so ugly. And it's supposed to be some, like, EV thing. But, like, the interior is awful. It's just got a map, a steering wheel, and that's it. And for some reason, the suspension is so, like, terrible because look how soft it is. Thing's rocking back and forth. Like, it's actually crazy. Like, bro, you are not in the ocean, bro. But yes, everywhere I've been, and, like, I don't know how long this car has been in the game, but, like, for the longest time I've ever played Driving Empire, I've never seen a single soul drive this car ever. Like, actually, what were they thinking when they were modeling this and adding it to the game? Like, they just had no ideas, and they were just like, all right, just make up a car in Blender. And this is what happens when you make up a car in Blender. Why is the suspension so soft? Oh, okay, that's the point. But yeah, literally nobody drives this car. But let's get onto a car literally everyone drives. Alright, now here is one of the most used cars in Driving Empire. I swear, every lobby you'll ever join, you will see at least one or two McLaren 765 LTs. And it just has a good reason. It's just the best, like, budget car ever in the game because it's very good looking. It has performance, and you can either get it in a Spider for a little bit more money or a Coupe with a lot of customization. Everyone loves this car, and if they have the money, they will definitely buy it. Comment down below if you've ever owned this car, and I bet if you've been playing the game for a little bit, you definitely have. Like, everyone has at least owned this car, or, you know, does own it still and drives it all the time. This thing is just all around, like, a very, very good car. Like, it's not, like, the best car in the game, of course, but for its budget, it's very good, very good looking, a very popular car. Everyone loves this thing. So yeah, I get why everyone drives this thing. I actually drive this thing a lot, and it's in a lot of my videos, a lot of my thumbnails. You could clearly tell it's a very lovable car. McLaren did a good job with this car because obviously every kid in Driving Empire has owned this car at least once and drives it all the time. So this is one of the most popular cars in the game. But let's get on to another least used car in the game. Alright, the next car is one of the least used cars, and it is the 1994 TVR Griffith 500. And I can tell why nobody uses this thing because what's just going on here? This thing is so weird. Like, it has horrible stats. It's stupid looking. It's like a knockoff Miata. And you're, like, so low to the ground, and somehow, even though this thing is so, like, small, you still can't see over the dashboard. And why is the steering wheel, like, the size of my hand? Like, what is going on here? I bet you can make this thing look so stupid if you customize it. Like, it's just, like, actually one of the least used cars in the game. Like, what happens when I just slam this thing down to the ground with suspension? Let's try it out. All right, now look at this thing. This thing is slammed to the ground. Like, actually, there's, like, not even an inch right there. Yeah, this thing is just, like, actually, there's a reason nobody drives this thing. Like, actually, horrible stats, and it's a knockoff Miata. There's many reasons why nobody drives this thing, but now let's get on to another most used car in Driving Empire. Another most used car in Driving Empire is the Mustang. Literally, how I did this video is I joined public servers and just surveyed what people were driving. I saw, like, 10 of these. Like, in the 2 servers, I saw, like, 5 each. It was pretty crazy, and, even if, like, it's kind of crazy that, like, a non-licensed vehicle is, like, one of the most popular cars in the game because I swear everybody drives this Mustang. Like, every starter beginner I see is driving this Mustang right here, and you know, Mustangs are clearly popular in real life, and so are they in Driving Empire, not even being licensed. Because we need to get Ford, because, like, people are just driving these low-quality models when there's so many other better quality models in the game, but they just like the Mustang. So we're just gonna need Ford, because a lot of people drive this car, and that's just unacceptable. We need a better model of this car, so hopefully it just, you know, gets licensed soon. But for right now, it's still one of the most popular cars in the game. I saw too many of these in every public server. Every kid is driving this thing right here, and it's understandable. A lot of people love Mustangs, and I can see why. There's a lot of things to love about Mustangs. But yes, without further ado, let's get on to another least used car in Driving Empire. Right, another least used car in Driving Empire is the KTM X-Bow GT. And there's many reasons why this thing is just so undriven. is because KTM offers a lot more options. Actually, only 2. But, you know, they're better. They're better than this one. So that's why they choose those KTMs over this KTM right here. And just this thing is just weird. Like, nobody really wants this thing. I mean, it's kind of cool. Like, if you were driving in real life on a go-kart track. But in Driving Empire, on a virtual game with a keyboard and mouse or an iPad or whatever you're playing on, it's pretty lame. And it doesn't have the best stats either, so it's just like nothing is just clutching up to save this thing at all, and there's just a lot of reasons why nobody drives this thing. I can understand, but like I said at the intro, comment down below if you drive any of these lease used cars, because I just don't believe you. Nobody's driving this thing. I've never seen one being driven before, ever. Maybe when the update came out, but besides that, they probably sold it and haven't driven it again. But yeah, another lease used car in Driving Empire. I've never seen this thing, and there's a lot of reasons why. It's just like unfavored between the other KTMs. And it doesn't hold any good stats. But let's get on to another most used car in Driving Empire. Another most used car in Driving Empire is the GTR. Even before it was licensed, it was the same thing. Everyone was driving a GTR because it had a lot of body kits. And even the 2011 GTR, when it was licensed, does offer a lot of body kits. But in this case, when I was doing my surveys in the servers, I actually saw a lot more 2017 newer GTRs, which is pretty surprising because I thought a lot of people love the body kit cars. Which they do. There's still a lot driving around, but when I did the survey, there was actually a lot more 2017 GTRs. So yeah, it hasn't changed between unlicensed versions and licensed versions. Still, people drive them all the time. It's a good thing they added a body kit version of the GTR, because it wouldn't be as popular as it was unlicensed if they didn't. But yeah, like, everyone drives this car, and hopefully it's not a starter car. I don't believe it is, but you never know. They be adding like McLarens as starter cars, so that might be the reason, but I don't think it is a starter car. So yeah, but there is a lot of things to like about the GTR, and just a lot of people love the GTR. People might say it's overhyped, but a overhyped vehicle has a lot of reasons to be liked, and that's why it might be considered overhyped. But yeah, let's get on to the next least used car in Driving Empire. All right, the next least used car in Driving Empire is the Jaguar D-Type, and there's actually a lot of reasons for this one too. There's a lot of reasons for everyone. It's pretty explainable for all of them. It's just this one is just, you know, the stats. It's a very old car. It is kind of goofy looking. Like, why does this thing seem surprised? Like, what's going on? Yeah, it obviously is pretty weird looking, and it just doesn't have good stats to, you know, to hold up for it or anything. So unless you're just like you like very, very old classic cars, which you probably has pretty interesting taste in cars if you do like this car. Like, I like this car, you know, it's pretty cool, historical and stuff like that. But besides that, in a game like Driving Empire, nobody is gonna be driving this car. So that's why I have never seen this car being used ever. Like, I don't know how to describe it, but it looks straight out of Dr. Seuss book. Like, this is a car you would see in Whoville or something like that. What is going on? Well, let's get on to the next most used car in Driving Empire. I almost forgot about the GT3 RS. I was like, there's something not adding up, and it's because I almost left out the GT3 RS. But yes, this is another most used vehicle in the game. A lot of people own this, and for a lot of reasons. First of all, it has the same hype as the SVJ, and everyone knows the SVJ hype. Like, it's super popular on TikTok and everywhere, and that's why it gets the name overhyped or overrated. Just because a lot of people like a car doesn't mean it's overhyped. There's a lot of reasons. Like, it has to have a reason a lot of people like it, and it's just because this thing is so cool. I originally thought, oh yeah, this thing's overhyped, until I saw this thing at a car meet just take off, and I was like, I don't know what people are talking about. There's a lot of things to love about this vehicle, and that's why a lot of people love it. There's a lot of things to offer for this thing, and that's why a lot of people drive it in Driving Empire, because it's a very good budget car, just like the McLaren 765 LT. It's just from Porsche, and it's very good at drifting too, and track, so a lot of people love it. And like I said, it's just very, very popular everywhere, just like the SVJ. It has that same hype, and yeah, this is why it's one of the most used car in Driving Empire. But yeah, let's get on to the last least used car in Driving Empire. Alright, and the last least used car in Driving Empire is the Audi Q3 Sportback. And there's just, you know, also reasons why nobody drives this. First of all, the RS Q8 exists. See, yeah, if people are gonna get an Audi SUV, they much prefer the 2022 Audi RS Q8. So that's why literally nobody is driving the Q3 Sportback. I think they were just trying to get volume of Audi in the game. That's why they just randomly added this car, because nobody's clearly driving it. It's very slow, and there's just also, you know, a better offer, the RSQ8. So there's just many reasons why nobody drives this car in the game. So let's get on to the last most used vehicle in Driving Empire. Right, the Corvette ZR1 from 2018, I believe. 2019. Okay, I was 1 year off. Is the last most used car in Driving Empire. And you might be saying, oh, it's a starter car. But I swear people get this car as a starter car and just keep it. They don't sell it or anything. And a lot of people like buy this car without getting it as a starter car. It's just a very popular car. That's what I did when I surveyed the public servers. I just saw a bunch of Mustangs and Corvettes just like these. So that's why it deserves the spot of the last most used car in driving empire, because I just see this car everywhere. And it's just many reasons. Like, it is a starter car, and a lot of people prefer this as their first starter car. And then it just is a very cool Corvette, and one of the ones that's not a collection car, and you have to buy Robux for it. And it's like it's the best Corvette, I think. So that's why people are buying it, because Corvettes are very popular. And if you want the best one in the game, this is what you're gonna have to buy. So yeah, that's why this deserves a spot as last most used vehicle in driving empire. But that's gonna be a wrap for today's video. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. That was least first most used cars in driving empire. Make sure to check out my description where my other 2 channels are, especially my Forza Horizon 5 channel. I post on that a lot now, every Saturday, maybe Sundays now. But yeah, I really hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you guys in the next one.